All right, we're about to tackle a question that seems, super simple on the surface, but it actually holds this incredible secret about how every single one of us is wired from day one. Let's just get right into it.
Have you ever just watched a baby and been completely floored by their nonstop energy? I mean, the kicking, the reaching, the wiggling, it just never ends. It can look like total, pure chaos. But what if it's not chaos at all?
What if all that movement actually has a profound purpose? We're going to explore this idea that this isn't just some random release of energy. Nope. It's a fundamental, built in motive that's driving that baby's development from the moment they're born. So let's reframe this whole thing. The old view, the common assumption, is that it's just meaningless twicking, right? But a newer, scientific view sees it as something way more powerful, a deep, biological drive for that baby to understand its world. And this whole new perspective, it comes to us from the work of a psychologist named Robert M. Day. Way back in the late 80s, he developed this groundbreaking theory of what he called basic motives. And believe me, it completely changes how we see what babies are up to. Okay, let's dive in. So, at the very heart of M. Day's theory is one specific motive that he thought was the most important of all. He called it activity. And you can basically think of it as the engine that powers a baby's entire journey of discovery. So, what exactly is activity? Well, according to M. Day, it's an innate tendency, something a baby is just born with. It's the drive that pushes them to interact with their environment. And through all that interaction, they start to build organization and understanding. They are literally building their minds through movement. Now, this is the really critical part of the whole idea. EMDA stressed that this drive is independent of learning or reinforcement. What that means is the baby isn't moving because they get a reward or praise for it. They move because they are biologically programmed to. It's an intrinsic need, just like eating or sleeping. So how does this engine actually work in the real world? It's this beautiful feedback loop. The baby's innate activity, all that constant reaching and exploring, is naturally met by a caregiver's response. A parent might offer a toy or help them sit up. And that response, in turn, encourages the baby to try something just a little bit harder, to tackle tasks with more and more complexity. It's really like a dance between the baby's inner drive and the supportive world all around them. Now, activity is definitely the star of our show today, but it doesn't work alone. It's actually one of four key drivers. EMDA placed it inside a bigger framework he called the basic motives. So let's zoom out and look at the complete picture. So how many of these core drives are we talking about? EMDA identified a grand total of four fundamental, inbuilt motives that guide a baby's development from the second they arrive. And here they are, the whole team. You can see activity, the one we've been focusing on. The other three are social fittedness, which is just the baby's built-in desire to connect with other people. Affective monitoring, their instinct to kind of read the emotional temperature of a room. And self-regulation, their slow and steady journey toward managing big feelings like frustration or excitement. All four of these work together to create a full picture of an infant who is active, engaged, and just a little learning machine. Okay, so why is understanding all this so important? What's the takeaway? Well, it's because it fundamentally changes how we see babies, and honestly, our role in their lives. It's a real shift in perspective. The crucial thing to remember is this. A baby's constant movement isn't just a nuisance or random fidgeting. It is vital, necessary work. Every single kick, every reach, and every wiggle is part of the foundational process of building a mind, of making sense of the entire world. So I'll just leave you with this question. The next time you see a baby on the floor, endlessly moving, reaching out, and exploring, what will you see? Will you just see chaos? Or will you see a tiny explorer hard at work, following an ancient, powerful blueprint for learning?